A 2009 General Assembly study found there are parts of Virginia where if a farm animal is sick, there are not enough veterinarians to help.
And we hear plenty of testimonial from producers that they have difficulty getting the veterinarian to their operation in a timely manner. So we believe in areas of the Commonwealth, especially deep southwest along the North Carolina border in central Virginia, there is a potential deficit there.
If there's no vet to treat livestock diseases, farmers often lose valuable animals. Swecker is a faculty member at the Virginia-Maryland Regional College of Veterinary Medicine and says there are several challenges. One is cost of tuition. It's not uncommon for a new veterinarian to have more than $100,000 in debt after graduation. But Swecker says the good news is large animal vets actually make a little more money these days than their urban counterparts.
And because they're in a rural community, cost of living tends to be less. So that's a little bit of a myth out there that the job doesn't pay.
The study identified several strategies to address the shortage, including shattering the stereotype that only men can handle large animals. More scholarships and tuition assistance for large animal vets is also needed, along with aggressive recruiting of new students from rural areas. Dr. Melinda McCall with the Louisa Veterinary Service graduated from the vet school 6 years ago and is already approaching 4-H students in her area.
You know, one way we can do that as veterinarians is just get in there and introduce this concept to these kids and say this is real. A lot of women and men are doing this job successfully, and you can make a good living and be happy and get to be around animals a lot.
McCall's practice spans 15 counties in central Virginia, and she admits she spends a great deal of time in her truck. Most veterinary students today are female, and she says that's not the barrier it used to be for working with large animals.
It's amazing. Some of the ones that have lasted the longest in this profession thus far from my class are the smallest girls in our veterinary school class, and they do a heck of a job. Their motto is work smarter, not harder.
Another positive step, Congress has approved a new federal loan repayment program for veterinary students. The first round of assistance will be awarded this fall to hundreds of recent vet school graduates. The study also recommended local government and business leaders in rural areas step up their recruitment efforts for new vets and make sure they offer a good deal for them and their families.
Many times with young professionals, it's not just the veterinarian, it's a veterinarian and a spouse. So really progressive practitioners have learned, I have to hire two people. I have to know people on the bank board. I have to know people on the school board. I have to be looking for those jobs because I'm bringing a family into my community.
Swecker says while there's no single answer to the shortage of large animal vets in many parts of the state, it's a problem that must be addressed, if only because these professionals are on the front line of preventing major disease outbreaks like bird flu and swine fever.
We need vigilance. We need surveillance. We need highly trained veterinarians in those areas to help give us the answers so we can contain disease and deal with the trouble and reduce the risk, especially of any problems in the human population.
McCall says she tells 4-H students that as a farm girl herself, large animal veterinary science was a natural fit.
I grew up in southwest Virginia on a big dairy farm, and my father was the herdsman there, so I got to assist with lots of the deliveries of the babies and help medicate the animals and do some of the breeding, and that's when I really got interested in this job. And I rode around with the veterinarians there as well and gained some experience, and I just fell in love with it.
And it's that love of rural Virginia and livestock that has veterinary school officials hopeful the shortage of large animal vets will ease soon. In Blacksburg, Virginia, I'm Norm Hyde.